along the way, were you kind of unconsciously singing your solo lines, consciously singing the solo lines, or did the singing and the playing take different paths?
My brothers were accompanying me, and I sang My Romance, and I guess she thought she was okay. We could work with this, so we were just working on jazz stuff at that time. That's all I thought it was. So improvising, phrasing, and things like that, and really working on knowing the roots of songs. And I'd already started playing jazz bass by then. She said, well, to practice this, because most everybody, well, now you can find terrible backing tracks, but, you know, I would have to sit at a piano, play the notes. She's like, just play the root on the bass and then sing the rest of the chord on top of it. So you can just accompany yourself. So I started doing that just out of a need for practicing. And then it just kind of turned into, oh, let me play half notes. Okay, now let me sing the root and then play the chord on the bass. So then it was just kind of fun. It was like a chess match with myself to see, like, you know, how far can this go? And then I'm trying to think of why I started singing bass lines too. That was either Kristen Korb or John Clayton. It could have been either of them.
Mm-hmm. They encouraged you to sing what you play.
Yeah, sing what you play, sing your bass lines. Yeah, I'll have to go back in my memory bank to see which one was first, but they both say it.
Oh, that's cool. Now, in your case, I heard you remark on one of your hump interviews that you have to be a little bit crazy, because I think there was somebody who asked you how you make that happen. And I would have to admit, I have to stop one or the other. I can't do them at the same time. I can't even answer a question posed to me without being expected to sing the answer. And it's just the two hemispheres of the brain are at odds in my case. But in your case, there's really...
So my hand just goes where it wants to. Hopefully it doesn't follow the contour of the line, but yeah, I'm very comfortable with that. And it's the most comfortable for me. But I will say, it's difficult. I don't just sing with a bass player behind me, because that is more distracting, because I might go, ask me, how do I feel? All I can say is if I were running, we kiss goodnight. I gotta be
you actually incorporate a third brain function. I caught something of yours on your website, or maybe adjunct to one of the Hump sessions, where you were playing the changes to a John Coltrane tune and singing. I don't know if you were, I can't remember if you were improvising or singing the melody and reading at the same time. I don't know if you were reading the Wall Street Journal. No, you were reading either the transcription of the bass line or the melody. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so this is something that really helped me learn how to divide and conquer the bass and the voice. I didn't start with John Coltrane, but yeah, that specific thing, I just transcribed vocally the melodic line of John Coltrane, wrote down the bass line of Steve Davis, because it's kind of, those changes, there's not too much you can do, and I was working on something else that was similar, so I wanted to kind of get inside that. But that's, again, that's something that for some reason is easy for me. I can read the changes, read the bass line and sing on top of it, because that's easily stored in my head. But that's what I first started doing with Miles Davis and Paul Chambers. The first song I did that on was If I Were a Bell from Relaxin' with the Miles Davis Quintet. So I transcribed Miles Davis's so that was a bit crazy, but taking those, didn't have to do too many, but that's a whole, year's worth of lessons in itself.
Right. So you're sort of an autodidact. I mean, you've mentioned Kristen and John Clayton. You studied with each of them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For years or
Kristen,
briefly?
Kristen, because I only had classical bass teachers. Again, just so lucky, especially, I think every city has great, it's great now, but it was really great then because it was Bud Shank, Bob Florence. It was really just a really fun hang. And Kristen Korb was the bass accompanist in the vocal workshop, because I went as a vocalist because I couldn't bring my bass up. It was too hard. So I met her there, and then when I came back to LA, asked her for lessons. So I think I studied with her for 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm. And John?
John, I met at the Vail Jazz Workshop when I was maybe 17 years old. And luckily I have a really good memory for some things. Other things I forget, and that's fine. But I got to spend a week with him, like a lot of one-on-one and small groups. And so many of the things I learned there, I've carried for the... But John he pulled me aside. He was like, watch those, major thirds on minor chords. And of course I wasn't going to say, I didn't know the song. There's no excuse, but it's great to have someone like that, helping you out.
We are very sort of a sensei, one of those realized souls who has no ego when it comes to sharing what he knows, and he's just so thoroughly at home with himself, and he, like you, was able to cross back and forth between classical and jazz, and so I'm sure he's proud of you, even if he might tweak you from time to time about those major thirds. Now,
you.